Oh, thank God it's not recorded in StreamYard. Good evening, folks. Fox and Outdoors here. Hope everybody is having a good weekend. Take care of a few things while we get this live up and running. Got a couple of things I gotta search for. One, my YouTube. Just today has not popped up right away, so God knows what's going on. Let's do this one. Mute myself. Like my stuff and pop out in the chat. This way I am good to go. And I go back over here, pop that back up. And now it's just a matter of time waiting for people. I have more or less what I need ready for tonight. Just waiting on people to pop in. So, how are you doing, Cecilia? Have you gotten any good weather, or are you still getting rain? I'm only drinking water right now. I haven't had a chance to eat dinner. I was busy. Got home, went and watered some plants, and then did a yard tour with my sister. Good evening, Jason. I do not actually have any of my high-octane beverage mix with me at the moment. It is all in the fridge. I will be getting that later. Wow, Deb still has no power? It's been, what, like 4 days now? That's insane. Jason, if you are planning on taking or partaking in tonight's tutorial, I do hope you have your items of choice ready, paracord wise, or even if you want to, you can do it with, honestly, you could do it with jute twine. I believe it'll still work with that. Might be a little harder to deal with, but you can also use bank line, fishing wire, or if you have an extra roll of mason line that you're not using, you can use that. But if you're using mason line, I recommend only doing a small section because doing an entire pole full or an entire pole section with mason line, you're going to need about 30 or 40 feet, give or take. I've got my wrap here, which I think is about 10 feet, give or take. We'll see. Double check my measurements. I think it's around 10 feet. But I'll get my exact measurement here, and we'll go from there. Damn it. This is not as easy as it looks. Trying to do this in a small space without running into everything. Apparently, I'm not 100% prepped to do this. Ah, okay. Jason is in the house. In the house. In the house, but not in the house. Okay, off my damn 4-foot marker. So 10 feet, 6 inches. So I got 10 feet, 6 inches is what I'm working with tonight. I was going to do this on a walking stick. Unfortunately, the walking stick in question did not have the proper or needed layout for what I was planning on doing. So we're going to do the method tonight, just using 10 foot 6 inches of reflective utility line and a piece of PVC pipe. I should get most of this wrapped with it. Actually, I'm probably only going to get about half of this because I don't have enough cordage, but hopefully the tutorial for you guys will have enough guidelines to allow you to do this on your own outside of this video. I just happened to catch one video on how, like, the way it laid out, and then had a food packet that said try it on this, and so I did, and honestly it takes less than 10 minutes to figure out how to do this. It's the wrapping process that takes a tad bit longer if you want a tighter wrap or a really loose wrap. I prefer the tighter wrap. I think you can get more cordage per capita than a loose wrap. You'll get more loose, but I feel with a tighter wrap you have less likely of a chance of it falling apart on you. Just my honest opinions on that one, but we can go from there on that. So, I wonder if Jason's outside watering plants, doing the same thing I was doing earlier, because it's wicked hot. Wicked hot. The title, as you guys can see, for tonight is Nuts to Garden and Bevies. I may or may not have spelled that wrong or right. I have no idea. The order also may be out of whack as well. It depends. I would like a couple more people in here before I do the wrap tutorial. Again, I got this wrap idea from another YouTuber. He posted a video on doing a wrap for backpack straps, and I thought the idea was kind of neat. And then, like I said, I got a dehydrated meal that says try doing this particular wrap, or try wrapping your walking sticks with paracord. So I got the idea in my head to mix both of those together. So that is what we're going to do tonight. And like I said, I have my little piece of pipe and about 10 feet of cord. So depending on what you all would like to wrap, or if you would like to wrap with me, you're more than welcome to. If this doesn't go over so well this week, I can try again next week. I only had like 2 or 3 people saying that they wanted the tutorial, so we'll see what happens. Heck yeah. I'm just going to move this one. I can move it around. It's not like this camera's in a permanent location. I can just pick it up and move it wherever the hell I want to. It's on a tripod, so I can just grab it and move it. As long as the cord's not under my thing, but yeah. I can move my camera anywhere I want to. See what you did there. So I can move it around. I can even adjust the thingamajigger straight down. We'll try to avoid looking at this area, my fatness. But yeah, I can adjust it. I can move it where I want. Move it where it needs to be, if necessary. Schismasmanary. Yay! Jason and Molly have internet and power. Awesome. How long were you guys out of power? And is that mainly because of Hurricane Debbie that's popping up through your area, or through that area, or? But no, to answer your main question, Cecilia, no, I just have the one camera. I do not have cool multiple setups that I can link to one camera, or link to my thing and then just kind of switch back and forth between them however I see fit. I do not have that sort of setup. I do not have enough room for it, and frankly, I just don't have the mental facilities to deal with something like that. Oh, okay, so you kind of just skipped out on power for a bit. Not too bad. So just to let you know, folks, at some point during this live, I will be going to get my food because I was supposed to have already eaten by now, but due to other priorities or events at the house, I was unable to eat during the time frame to which I wanted. But I wanted to talk with my sister because I don't talk to her all that often. Haven't really talked to her in like 3-4 years due to military deployment and the fact that they are on a very, very odd time frame than I was in the UK. So it made it really hard to communicate with them. So spent about an hour outside with my sister in the yard, giving her a tour of my garden and everything else. So hopefully we get a couple people here. We may or may not see Doug just due to the fact of the hurricane that's over in his area on that side. Same with Blake. We may or may not see Blake just due to the fact that that is kind of creeping up towards that Georgia side for that storm. So some of my East Coasters I may or may not see tonight. Got cordage and I'm practicing. That's why we're doing this. This is not necessarily just for me. This is kind of for anybody who wants to learn how to do it. I'm trying to remember the name of the channel so I can at least throw credit towards that guy. And it was... I'm going to have to go through my channel list here on my actual YouTube channel to figure out who the heck it was. Well, not when I see the icon for, or at least the name. Because he does not put out as many videos as he used to. Puts them out every once in a while, but not as like frequent as he used to. Let's see here. God, I've got channels on here that I haven't seen videos from in over a year. Did I take him off my channel listing? I think I may have actually removed him from my channel because I don't normally, because I was getting away from the outdoor channel, a lot of the outdoor channels. So I'm going to go through here real slow. See if I can't find it. So if I'm a little quiet, folks, I apologize. I'm just trying to find this particular channel so I can at least throw credit where credit is due. Now, it's not like they'll ever see the video, but I am still going to throw it in there just for... There it is. Okay, found it. Now I remember. I should be able to remember that, no problem. Well. Hey, Rabbit, how's it going? Yeah, it'll work with any sort of cordage, paracord, standard rope if you have rope. If you're doing something larger, you can use bank line, masonry line, fishing string. Like if you just want to have something small that you can have, a couple feet of fishing line on, or you can do it with fishing line. Although to be honest, I don't really recommend it with fishing line, especially mono. just due to the fact that you're putting a lot of tension on your wrap, and it will permanently warp, and the mono will stay that way unless you heat or stretch it. So not really recommended a wrap to use with monofilament fishing line, but you can use if you're doing like spider wire. Spider wire won't really affect anything because it's essentially it's similar in composition to bank line, where it's you got your cotton line coated with your outer coating, which for bank line is like a tar coating, as spider wire is a kind of like a wax coating. Yeah, I saw. Jason, did you not get my comment on the video? I mean, you can do it with yarn, but you're gonna have to. I mean, you're essentially going to be putting a lot of tension pulling the yarn through itself. So you may or may not want to do it with yarn, because I know yarn does not exactly have a high tensile strength. But yeah, I mean, you could essentially do it if you do it lightly. Plarn, plastic yarn, no. You can do it with jute twine, but again, you have that tensile strength issue. So now Jason got my comment. I think I commented that like 5 minutes after you put the video out, or maybe like an hour after, because you put that thing out super early in the morning. Six degrees, so that's what, like 50? $42 degrees? Yeah, I would say that might be a little cold for you. That's funny though, considering you guys are about to hit your hit your summer season here shortly. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, 42. It's not 46. 42 to 46. That's not that cold. I mean, I'm still walking around in t-shirt, usually around at that temp, but if you're used to the heat, then yeah, 42 is cold. Now, her winter season is damn near over. They've got like 2 more months of their winter season, maybe 3, and then that's it. Because summer here is almost over, and it's like opposite for the regions. So when their summer hits, we have winter, and when we have winter, they have summer. Yeah, see, she's got about 2 more months of winter. But you guys, again, because you're technically a desert region, you guys don't really have like astronomically devastating winters, like say Canada. Hey, Grace, how's it going? Getting people in slowly. Getting people in slowly. Got about, I think, another 15, 20 minutes on my food, and it'll be ready to eat. Grace has been in here. She was like the second or third person in. All right. See you later, Amanda. Oh, yeah, Jason, because you guys are getting the side effects of the storm that's coming through there. Well, technically going through Florida, but you're still going to feel the wind from that, or at least the weather change. Nope, but then I guess Grace is the fifth or sixth person to get here. My apologies, Grace. I was trying to be, but I guess Grace was a little late. Apologies. I have really got to learn how to tie this thing without having to use a damn instruction manual, because, God, I hate trying to tie this stupid knot. It's a pain in the ass. I can never figure it out. And I'm talking about the bowline knot or bowline knot. I hate tying this thing. Because dead honest, I suck at it. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I absolutely suck at tying this line. You know, there's so many tutorials out there that have, like, shown how to do this, like, the stupid easy way, and I always suck at it. Like, I just straight suck at it. And so I got, like, my little mini bowline knot going over here. That I am not going to do a tutorial on for you guys. If you want to learn, if you want to do bowline knot, Google a picture of it. It's so much easier. And there's Mr. Colin. And there's Mr. Dan. How you doing tonight, Dan? Colin, how you doing? Hi, Jenny. Hi, Molly. Everybody that is here. Hope everyone is having a good week. I'm not tying an alpine butterfly loop. That's an even more pain in the ass knot. I don't have the patience for that one. Plus, it's not that would be more relative to the current wrap that we're doing. Yeah, I got you. No worries. Oh, it's funny you guys both popped in here at the same time. He's talking about the tutorial that I'm doing for tonight, Grace, with the wrap that I showed you guys that I did on my trekking poles. He wanted to know, he's asking for you if it'll work with Bankline. And yes, it will work with Bankline. Because what you're doing is not a 100% cinch knot, so you're not pulling the tag end or tail end of your material into your wrap. You're just sucking your wrap down to hold that tail tight so it doesn't unravel itself. Now the measure, the means and whatnot to do this is going to be determinant usually on cordage length and how much you want to go. You can readjust. Might take you 2 or 3 tries to get it exactly where you want it for length. So yeah, I think it's a whip stitch. Let me Google that one. Da-da-da-da. I can't spell today. No, not a whip stitch. This one is considered. No, whip stitch is for sewing. We're not doing sewing techniques. I think this one would be considered. Actually, I don't know what the hell this is. Is it a ladder stitch? Not been a ladder stitch either. I don't actually know what the name of this particular stitch is called. It's just, or weave. It's just something I randomly. It has technically, it does have a pattern. So, but it is a wrap and it is a stitch. It's kind of both. So there's the pattern you kind of get with it. So it's just kind of like an overhand, I don't know, an overhand wrap, or like kind of what they similarly like what they use on like katanas and stuff. When you buy like store-bought katanas, this is the kind of wrap you have on her sometimes. But yeah, there's the. It's like I guess a zipper weave, a zipper stitch. I think that's what it'd be called. Yeah, it's so. I guess the best way to call it would be consider it would be like the zipper stitch, but we're not doing the zipper stitch with plastic lanyards. But yeah, it would be a kind of a similar stitch to that, I guess. I don't know. It's a really. You know what? Let me see if I can Google image search this off my phone, because maybe that'll help me actually figure out what the hell this wrap is called. Because then I can actually dedicate this to a more accurate knowledge of what the shit I'm talking about. Worst picture ever. Gives me paracord wraps. It gave me nothing but paracord wraps. That is hilarious. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see if I can do this a little better. Focus, you shit. I guess they just call it a quick deploy wrap. So yeah, it looks like it's just considered a quick deploy wrap, or yeah, quick deploy. Which, depending on how you weave a paracord bracelet, can also be a quick deploy. But that will also in turn depend on what your current connection points are as well, and how you have them taken or essentially quicked off. So it is just considered a quick deploy wrap. And yes, it is quick deploy. This thing will unravel in about a half a second. Like there is, oops, not much to it. It does come out quick. Yes. When I start doing it, I will move my camera over so I can get a layout of over here of what we're doing, and this way you guys can actually see what I'm doing. For those of you who want to participate at the same time, you are more than welcome to. Again, I'm going to do this particular portion of the live with just by myself up here. I will go over it slowly, if I have to, step by step, so everybody can see. But it'll make it a little easier if I just do it as a demonstration. But yeah, I have all that I need right here. And like I said, my camera can move, so I can move my camera so you'll get the full view of my desk and, unfortunately, my beer, my kegger, which won't be a kegger, but yes, everything will be moved. So when I get it set up and ready, we will be down here. I will have to move my my computer just a tad bit over so my thing doesn't fall off my desk. But yeah, we will be down here. Hopefully this will be enough of a view for you guys to see. Colin, you knew this was coming. You could have prepped. You could have gotten some paracord. You were the one I wanted to do it too. But I can still do a tutorial on it. Might have to adjust slightly where the positioning is, but yeah, I can. Let's see, is that a clear enough view for everybody? So, give me 1 second, folks, and we will get this started here in just a moment. I was hoping for a little bit more audience-wise for doing this. Sorry for the gratuitous crunch set. I apologize. And for that as well, I've been having sinus issues all day. It's been driving me nuts. But give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to go take a quick hiatus to go get my food. All right, so we've got footage. Now I got to figure out where to set it, that it's not going to be in the way. Oh, I suppose I can set it down there, and hopefully I don't knock this over. I will be utmost pissed if I did, because then I have to wait another 45 minutes for food. All right. Lasagna. Every Saturday, I'm going to try to eat the same foods. That way I can stay on a somewhat relative simple diet. Which, yes, I've actually put myself on a diet. That's my own thingy. I still eat my snacks and chips. I've got 2 things of Pringles, half a bag of hot Cheetos, and what's left of my Rolos and my cheese puffs. So I do have stuff. All right. So for anybody that is or isn't participating in this, throw a 1 in the chat. If you are here just for the tutorial, throw a 3 in the chat. But I will do this as slow as possible. This way everybody can see what is going on. Hopefully this has enough. It's all a diet. He says 13. Killing me, CR. Killing me. So my end result may or may not be exact on this one because at this point I've officially figured out what the dimensions that I need are for a trekking pole, at least specific trekking poles. That aside, this is just kind of a guess, so I may or may not have a long tag end or a short tag end. But I should get roughly about 8 inches off of here. We'll see. All right, so got your loop. And unfortunately, I can't zoom in and I can't get any closer. I wish I could zoom in, but I can't. So this is going to be the best I can do for you. So you got your loop end. You're going to make yourself a secondary loop. I'm going to scoot over a little bit more to do it here. So your one end, you're going to basically just fold it over itself and have yourself a little double line, 2 streets. So you got 2 streets. And with the end of this is going to be, yeah, you can apply this for a lot of other things. So with your thumb, as best you can, as close to the knot from your pull, you're going to take your wrap over it. And you want to hold that as tight as possible, which is a pain in the butt, trust me, especially on something slippery. You're going to bring that over. Try to keep that as tight, not as tight as possible, but just tight, because it will slide on you. You're going to bring the loose end over. So you're going to bring that over your first line, under your highway or street, and then you are going to cinch it down from there, which, again, it will slide on you. So this is always a pain in the butt. It's a fun thing to work with, but it is a pain to start. And you can just, sucker, tried to slip out from under me. So then you're going to, like I said, get it as tight as you can. You're going to come around the bottom, do the same thing. Go over the top of your street or highway. And then you're going to bring that under, while trying to maintain your road or highway, however you want to call it, qualify it is. You want to maintain that as flat or straight as possible. And then you will just repeat this process. Once you get the first like 4 layers in, it's really easy, because then the thing tends to not want to slip around on you. But it's just getting those first couple of lines started. And then, so the idea that where I got this idea from was this particular wrap was from Everyday Tactical Vids. I believe his channel name is Tim. So I got that idea from him. He was doing a backpack wrap for backpack straps on his. And I had a dehydrated food packet that said, why try to add paracord to your walking sticks. So with his quick release or quick deploy cordage, I thought, why not try that for the sticks, for the walking sticks? And it turned out, as you guys saw, pretty darn nice. So that's where I got that idea from. So 2 places gave me the idea, at least for that particular one currently, because I do watch a lot of paracord stuff at the same time, but half the time I don't pay attention. But yeah, so you're just going to keep wrapping it, and you're going to just keep repeating the process. So over the top, to create your bite or your loop around the bottom, essentially under your flap. You want to get that in there as tight as you can. This is going to be a loose wrap just because this is extremely hard to do this on PVC, especially with this particular cordage. This is slick. And then you want to lay it back over. Take your cord, wrap it back over the top. Tighten it up a little bit. You're going to do the same thing. Flip your line over, wrap it under, flip your line back, and back over the other way. And you will start to see that wrap emerge. Now, this one looks like I already made a mistake on it, so my wrap is a little off. So as you can see, my mistake here is, oops, sorry. Got a little bit of a mistake there, so I've got a double, and then I've got a double on this side. It's not really going to affect the wrap any at the final stage. You can do this on purpose to give it a cooler look. So I'm trying to figure out where my camera's at. So there's that. So again, I have my line is under my highway or my street. And then you will fold over. Essentially do the same thing on the other way. So under the street, which I apologize, my camera's going to be funny right now. Lay your street back over it. And then essentially speed bump. My camera doesn't want to focus right now. And this is very hard because I do not have an overhead camera. And again, like I said, this will shift. So I usually like to do a tighter one just to keep it in place. But that is what you're going to end up looking like with your wraps. As I said, you can alternate them. So you get, like I have here, this mistake where I have two of them. Instead of, you notice the first 3 rows, I have every other one. This one, I miswrapped it. Does happen every once in a while. Wrapping it this way is not perfect. It's also not easy, and it is very time consuming. So now, if you want to start it on a tighter weave, what I recommend is wire tie. So you get a little wire tie, and you wire tie the end of it here where your knot's at, where you started off. That'll keep it in place a little tighter so it doesn't slide around. You can also use any sort of like thin, any sort of wire material, or you can even use a piece of string, because your string end, your bottom of the string end will be over here, so you can just cut it off and just pull it right out, and it'll slide out. So once, like I said, once you get the first couple of layers in here, this actually starts going faster and faster. Like I said, I've got this loose. If I was not doing a tutorial, I can probably finish this particular wrap in about 5-6 minutes. But as I am doing a tutorial for you guys, I am trying to go slower so you guys can see the progress and then how it looks. And again, I do apologize for the fact that I do not have an overhead camera. So doing this is a little strenuous. Ooh, shit. And that is the biggest problem right there when you're doing a loose wrap. So my whole thing just slid off. That is going to be a pain to get back on now. That is going to be a huge problem. So now I have to rework the other end because the whole thing, I just like 2 wraps just slipped off the pipe here. So I'm going to move this down so I don't have that problem again while I'm trying to tighten this up here. No, as a matter of fact, it really doesn't. So as you can see here, I have, we'll say, I had it adjusted originally so this tag end is even with the pipe. So once I slide it over, so I'll slide it up just a tad bit. So I have that. Okay, now we're even with the end of the pipe. As you can see here, sort of, well, more or less even. It will stay the same length. It does not get shorter. Surprisingly, I was actually baffled on that one myself when I first started doing this one. I assumed that that would actually get shorter. It really doesn't. You're not decreasing the length of your highway or street, which I'm just going to call it a highway because it seems to be easier and everyone seems to be getting the gist of the diagram or logistics of how this is working. So essentially, once you get past here, it doesn't shorten this. All it does is lift it up about probably 1/10 of an inch, maybe 2/10 of an inch, or a couple of millimeters. The only thing that's going to get shorter over time is your wrap end. So your wrap end is the only thing that's going to get shorter. But again, like I said earlier, your length on this is really just going to be determinant on how long you want your wrap, how much time and effort you want to spend doing this. Because when I did my walking sticks, that took me about 45 minutes the first time I did it. I can do them a little faster now because I'm used to the wrap itself. It's a little easier. Once you get past the first 2 or 3 wraps, doing this is fairly easy. Really all you're doing is going over and under. It's an over and under. It's constant over and under. So you just want to tighten, go over. So I'm already done on the wrap there. You just come up under it. Now you can hold this with your finger so it doesn't move on you. And then just slide it up under your highway. And then bridge it back around the backside, back door, however you want to call it. And then just same thing. And it's just a repeat process over and over and over. And yes, it does seem extremely tedious. Now, obviously, I've already miscalculated the length I needed on this. I'm going to have a lot longer, see, and I am still, I did 4 or 5 wraps on there, and I am still pretty much even with the end of that pipe right there, like the end of that pipe. So I tried to pick the most easily visible color for this project. I also didn't have, like I said, the appropriately needed pipe, trekking pole. The ones I was going to use were not what I needed. It was a trekking pole, but didn't have the right kind of handle for it, so it kind of threw off the wrap. But this here, you guys get the gist of it. I'm trying to do this still very slow for you. Now, the wrap itself can and will twist here and there, but it's easily adjustable. Yes, the over-under allows for extremely quick release, which I will demonstrate here once this is finished. Because you're actually not impeding any part of this cord is not interwoven or latched onto anything like your standard paracord bracelet. Standard paracord bracelet, depending on the weave, can easily be a quick release, or it can be what's considered a quick release, but very hard to quick release. Paracord bracelets that I've made for people, I usually do a tighter weave, so even on a quick release, it does make it actually make it very hard to quick release because of how tight I make it. And yep, I knew that was going to happen, so I did fall short. So once you are at the end stage, I needed another like 1/2 inch, and I would have had this perfect. So you will take your essentially tag end, the end you got over here. And you can do it either through the top. You can either do it so it goes under, in between the highway. Sorry. So you can either do it under and over, or depending on how, if you want it tighter to make it look like it finished off, you can go over and under on the front side. So when you're done, your wrap will look sort of like that. As you can see, that one's when it's sucked in tight, it's going to look like it's part of the wrap itself. So with that in mind, there's a reason why you have this end here. You can do a double knot, so you have a place to at least grab with some pliers, or you can wrap it around your finger. I prefer the bowline knot because it makes it super easy to just take that whole line and slide it through. And you can see, I'll get that as close as possible so you guys can see it. And that locks it in right there. You can adjust it so it's a little tighter. But essentially, that is your finished wrap. Where's the bottom of this? So there's your wrap. There's your official, technically your tag end or your working end, locked in there, and it is not going to unwrap itself. For the quick deploy aspect, now mind you, again, I have this miscalculated, so I have this extremely long end. As I said, this is their locking end, so that locks it in there. It will not unravel on its own without assistance. So with that in mind, you can just pull that end till you can get it loose, and it will pull out a little bit. So once you have enough working end to get the bastard, once you get it loose, which is now loose, this will straight up, even holding it, quick deploy. And as you can see, that cord is 100% tangle free. And you can do this on any length that you want. For trekking poles, I've worked out the kinks at roughly 13 feet. And you will have your bowline knot. You can even do it without a bowline knot. I just prefer the bowline knot because it makes it easier for certain things. That is all from the wrap to the bowline knot. I have like an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter of extra length of cordage. And that's only because, again, I slightly miscalculated where I needed to be on the working end. I could have done the working end probably another 2 inches or an inch, and I could have gotten around one more wrap, which would have made this end a little shorter. But that is essentially what you'll get. That is the more or less the finished product. I think this gap right here was a mistake on my part. I think I miscalculated somewhere or did something weird. But I'm looking at it, and everything is every other one over and under. So, long-winded as I may sound, again, just on a piece of PVC and that, and you have literally any amount of cord that you would like to set on there. Extreme quick deploy, and I do mean extreme quick deploy. You guys watched it unravel in mere seconds. That is that one. You guys are more than welcome to rewatch the stream, go over it slower. If you want to do it frame by frame to see how I did it, you are more than welcome to do so. I will not be putting this live on private, so this will be an open tutorial for anybody who would like to watch. That aside, folks, thank you for joining me on this rather short little tutorial. Let's say maybe 30 minutes is what we got with that. And again, you can do this with bank line, paracord, utility line, any cordage that you would like or desire that you want to work with. You can even do it with fishing line. I do not recommend doing it with monofilament, only because it will potentially have the opposite effect of what you actually want to try to do with it. You will not be able to use it in the field if you have to say fish. You will not be able to do it with the monofilament because the monofilament will have kinks in it from going over the highway. It does not make for an ideal session. You can do it with spider wire. You can do it that way. But again, you're only going to get as many feet as you are inches. I have not calculated the feet per inch aspect of this because, again, for this particular one here, I'll go back down to showing you guys. My trekking pole is weird. I have a cork handle, I have a foam handle, and then I have a spacer insert, which is where the extension parts slip in. But this has a collar on this. Again, I have 13 feet on here, roughly. The collar length on this is from this point here, not the backside, because that is sloped. So I can only go as far as this back end. So from the back end to the end of the foam, I'm looking at 6 3/4 of an inch. Or, well, unfortunately, I can't do this in centimeters because this one actually does not have the centimeter mark. But, shit. Yeah, I can't do centimeters on this because this particular one does not have it in centimeters. But 7 3/4 of an inch for your pole here is roughly going to be about 13 feet. If you want to get an extra wrap, I would do 13 feet, maybe, let's see, to go around the other side. 13 feet 1 inch, maybe 13 feet 2 inches. And then you can always adjust. You can always cut this off if you want and reseal it. That way you're closer to the end. That way you don't have this funny little snake tail that I got on mine. But yeah, you can do it that way, and you can just adjust you can just cut your end, heat it, seal it, and do whatever you want. But your average for that is going to be about 13 feet. Yes, that is, okay, so that one is going to be an overhand wrap, so we can do that one too. I can do the tutorial on that one, but I'm going to just do it right here in this one so I don't have to move my camera again. Same concept for your handle wrap. Sorry, this would be so much easier if I had a system that I could actually put an overhead camera on. So for your handle wrap, you will essentially start off same way I started off mine. So you're going to have your road, and you can do this either way. It's going to work the same way. So you're going to take your working end, you're going to go over your end with a knot, and you just essentially wrap it. So you will wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, and you're just going to go around. This is how a lot of bushcrafters will do their handle or axe wraps for axes, hammers, any sort of bushcraft things they want to do out in the field. That'll give them a little bit of extra protection for their gear, or a bit of an extra working for the handle. So you just essentially work your handle. This one is probably the least complicated way of wrapping anything. And you just keep going around. You can get this as tight as you want it or as loose as you want it. But keep in mind, if you're using it for gear, I'd recommend a slightly tighter wrap. That way when you're moving it, it doesn't come undone. Which is going to suck because if I actually finish this off, this is going to be stuck on this pipe. Although I could probably wiggle it off. So we'll test that theory out. We'll see if I can actually do this. Again, miscalculated my end by literally a 1/4 inch. But that's all right, because what you're going to want anyway is for this wrap is you want a tag end that's actually fairly long. Same concept, you can go either over and under or under and over. Tag end through there. You're going to pull, same way, with your lock. You're going to pull that. It's going to lock it, but you do not want to stop at just a lock. You want to pull this entire tag end halfway through that, so basically the tip of this is going to barely stick out the top. So you're going to suck that in, which is a pain in the ass, by the way. This is like super hard. I actually need something to stick in here that I can use to pull on it. You know, I got a damn freaking shitty flashlight. We'll just use this. Again, you want a shorter tag end on there, but you're going to pull that through. And pulling that through is what you're doing is you're creating a knot. And now that's actually wicked tight. Hey, Deb, how's it going? So you're pulling your tag end or your working end through or into here. The wrap is actually what keeps that locked into place. So once that is locked in there, that is now very stiff, at least on the locked part. I did not do a tight wrap here, so it is a little loose. It is 100% locked in there now. I cannot pull it out the other way without using pliers. It is stuck in there. This is what a lot of people use for their axe wraps, for the head of their axe, or essentially, I'm one of the few people that just randomly has all this crap everywhere. So if you have a wood-handled axe, I'm not going to dig this one out. I have my other one over here somewhere, or actually it's in my car. So normally when you have a wood-handled axe, you don't have this. Anyways, you just wrap the front end of the axe handle all the way up to the bottom of the head or the shoulder, and then you lock it in, and this is the wrap you use. You lock that one, and basically what it does is it keeps your the head of your axe, the neck of your axe, from getting damaged by either over chop or under chop or missing something, and then you got the front end of the axe coming over like this, hitting your wood. So miscalculation tends to eat a little bit into the axe handle, and it can ruin it, so they do the wraps for that. But now, to do this is not a quick deploy, unfortunately. Once it is on there, once you finish it off, they will usually seal that end off. They'll cut that off, seal it, and then it's pretty much not going anywhere because it's already in there. It's not going to work itself out. This is normally dragged all the way in, and then, like I said, they'll cut that end off and seal it with a lighter and then just tack it in there, and that'll stay there for like eternity. Now, I'm just going to slide this out so I can actually get this off. Just so I don't have to waste my cordage, because I like this piece of cord. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I do have it. Yes, hides the tag end. Hides it and locks it into place, so you don't have to worry about trying to like tie it or glue it together. I have things everywhere. Axes, knives, you name it, I've got it somewhere. I just whacked a glass bottle with that axe. That's not good. There's that. And now that we are at the 1 hour mark, that took a lot longer than expected, but I do hope that everybody enjoyed that tutorial. Do me a favor on the way out, or once this video is posted, throw a like in there, throw a comment on there. Something, anything, just to show that you guys appreciate my content. You know what the funny part is? I was supposed to put this on here. That was supposed to be on there that whole time, and I completely spaced it. But anywho's, we are at that moment in time. I am going to do this. For anybody who would like to pop up now at this point. Paste. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Grace. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I tried to be as informative as possible while doing this. My lasagna is getting cold, so by the way, Blake, you just missed the entire first half where I did paracord wrap for hiking poles. So it means you're gonna have to go back and watch the first hour. Start at about 15 minutes in, and I believe is where I started. Yeah, Colin actually did manage to squeak up here.
Yeah, give me a second here. I'm trying to get my phone set up on my stand so I can actually do this hands free. I got a fire going and everything, so
Nice.
yeah. I was paying attention to it. I'll probably do this on Thursday when I actually have my paracord and everything over at my house. That way I can have my trekking poles in front of me, sitting down, and all this other stuff.
And you got your trekking poles where you're at now?
Yeah, but I don't have my paracord with me.
How do you not have paracord with you on a camping trip?
Because I wasn't planning on using my paracord.
They came underprepared.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff. I'd set it aside to put it into my bag, and I forgot to put it in my bag. I have all.
By the way, hi, Ian.
Yep, Ian's right here.
Yep, I heard him. How's it going, Ian?
No Jenny, so.
She stayed at the house?
Yeah, she stayed at the house. So tonight, he's sleeping in my Light Fighter 1 tent because he tried his hammock, did not.
The hammock failed on me.
Because the hangers that they use for on trail for those things, I am not experienced hammock person.
It literally tore the rope.
It didn't tear the rope.
No, it was leaving markings on the actual strap.
Oh, are you talking about those alien thingies?
This is the one he's got's a little different, but yeah, it's the same kind of thing, but it's a different type of hook than the alien ones. And I actually picked him up some hammock straps, but unfortunately, he does not have the proper carabiners that he needs. So that's next on the agenda: is proper carabiners. The straps worked fine. We didn't have anything to connect them properly because he was only like just about an inch or so off the ground.
Blake apparently just broke his tick record by a shitload. His words, not mine.
I can't.
Blake is now a tick magnet. He's not a chick magnet. He's a tick magnet. First off, Blake, aren't you at your house most of the time? How are you picking up these ticks? You like... I want to know where he keeps getting them from. And how he keeps getting them. Well, I am super interested on this one. And I'm also going to sit here and eat because I'm freaking starving. Colin touched the button. Which isn't surprising. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Good to see you. Good Lord. Blake, what the hell were you doing? Were you like wandering through the Georgia swamp? I got almost all my regulars in here, even though it's a Saturday and 3 of them are camping. Oh, you're out. Why are you out in Florida when they got a hurricane going that way? Right.
And here I am.
There's Jason.
Yeah.
7 hours late. Just kidding. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, Blake. Hello, everybody. Hello, Rob.
Hello.
Mr. Dan. License
I was going to try again.
I don't know what happened, but I lost you. I was showing that I was still connected, but I couldn't find you at all, which is really weird.
Yeah, no, you straight died on my side. You just straight disappeared.
Yep.
Which really, I'm still showing I was still connected, which is freaky.
Don't know. Can't help you there. Phantom ticks. Hopefully, I'm glad it was hopefully at least informative for some of those who wish to do something similar to their own equipment.
I can't see the chat, so bear with me here.
It's when you're on your phone, it's one or the other. You either get to watch the chat or you get to watch the stream.
The thing is, when I'm doing it myself, when I connect myself from home, I have the chat off to the side when I'm doing my StreamYard.
Because you're on your computer, not on your phone.
No, on my phone, which is really weird. It's showing I can connect to chat, but I can't see chat. Weird.
You're just not used to it. That's all.
I did like the tutorial. I was listening mostly. I'm trying to get my fire going. I will tell you this: my little folding saw, my Black & Decker folding saw, that thing is a champ. I'm gonna think it cut like a dream.
Nice.
It threw wood that big around.
Give me a 52.
Without for like a 2 to 3 millimeter wide dual direction saw, it did amazing. I was talking to Dan, and I was cutting logs, branches down while I was talking to him, and no issues. And I didn't. It was comfortable. I didn't get tired.
Damn,
They were sucking him dry.
all weird. So, this is what CR sent me. He did his while we were doing the live, or while we were doing the tutorial.
Oh, that's cool. What's he use?
Bank line. It looks like paracord and just a stick.
Okay. I'm actually gonna on Thursday. I'll actually do my trekking pole, where you can see it done.
And then he actually did find, which is really funny, because my screen. What the heck? Not get off there. What the hell is this thing doing? Bruh. I don't know what the hell that did.
What is he doing? Rolling around in a leaf litter?
Colin, I have no idea. And then he actually found this diagram similarly to what we were doing.
Yeah.
But that one is for...
I'm still here. I just put my cam off because it's getting too dark for you guys to see me anyway.
That is for an end wrap.
Yeah, it's almost like how they put the guys on the fishing poles.
Kind of similar, yeah.
Now, what's the thinnest that you've actually worked with, Cliff, to do that same wrap?
Say what now?
The wrap that you were doing, what's the smallest diameter material that you've ever done it with?
I've done a whipping wrap on a piece of rope, but for that particular weave that I was just doing the tutorial on, the smallest I've done it on so far is a trekking pole.
No, the actual cordage itself. What was the smallest diameter cordage?
Would have been this. Was the reflective guy line that I have, which is I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch.
Okay. Like you're talking about the other stuff, like the bank line and some other stuff doing it. But,
yeah, I mean, you can do it with. You can even do it with this stuff.
That's the stuff I have with my on most of my tarps have that kind of material.
Yeah, this is just your standard mason line. Yeah, you can do it with a mason line.
Yeah.
I've got that one cordage I showed you, it's at home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it with that. I kind of actually, me personally, I find using the mason line for whippings phenomenal. Because the stuff that I particularly have, I don't know if yours is the same way, Jason, but it's kind of like, it has like a flat side.
No, mine's totally round.
Oh, yours is 100% round? Yeah, see, this one
Yeah, mine's
kind of like
a true masonry line.
Mine was, well, technically that's a spool of mason line.
Yeah.
But this one has kind of got like it's flat. It's not rounded right, like 100% round.
This one's 100% round.
I was wondering what it would work for Jenny for when she's got that that macrame cordage.
It might.
That, but it's a little bit bigger diameter than bank line, but it's
Yeah.
not as tight a weave of a cordage. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Now, the problem with the masonry line, it does stretch. So you're gonna have to put it on real tight.
Yeah, that stuff has a little bit of a stretch to it too.
You guys got to read the chat off because I can't see anything.
I'm reading. Jason muted himself.
Right? No, I was when I was putting this out for the soccer fields at 100 meters. This thing would stretch an extra 50 feet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that stuff stretches big time.
Oh yeah.
And you don't want to be on the opposite end of that thing when it snaps.
Yeah, especially if it's got a stake on it.
You mentioned that before. I think on my live.
Huh?
You said it about 50 feet with a stake.
Yeah. It'll fling that small stake a good 75 feet back towards where you have
It's a weapon. The sling weapon.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, and especially if you're doing like block wall, because for block wall they have this like 3-piece doohickey that sits on the end of the block with like a little tab on it. You tie the string on there. It locks that onto that block. If you bump it and that sucker shoots off, you're getting smacked with that little clip.
Yeah, it's to help keep that spirit level taut on that string.
Because you don't want to lay your bricks all crooked.
I wonder if you could do that with twine.
Like butcher's twine, yes, you can do it with.
No, I'm talking about
twine as well.
The what is it?
Jute twine was too brittle.
Jute twine.
You can do it with jute, but just tighten the weave.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Amanda.
Hey, Mandy. You can't see me, but I'm here. No, Jenny. Because we're camping.
Yeah, you can do it with bank line, but not bank line, jute twine. But what I recommend you doing is tightening that braid or that twist.
Right.
And it's going, just tighten it a little bit as you're doing it, and it shouldn't have an issue going through there. When it's loose, like the normal braid, it does have a very low break strength. But I think if you twist it, it'll tighten it up, tighten the fibers out a little bit.
I was thinking about if you do something like that kind of setup, like a quick deploy thing with the jute, that'd make a good quick deploy fire starter.
No, I was thinking about if you can braid it and then wrap it around your pole.
Possibly.
Good.
I know how to do a macrame cordage, but I don't know how tight that could get that one though. Not without the proper setup.
Problem is, it'll still be 3 pieces.
I could do it with one.
No, but the way Jason's talking for doing it the way he wants to, yeah, I can see the 3 people figure out how that works.
My wife could probably do a braid, but I don't know how strong it would be.
To keep it from coming undone off of the trekking pole.
Well, when I do the macrame thing, it's a quick deploy setup because unless you tie it off, you can just pull it apart straight across. I'm stupid right now. I'm using my hands to explain something, and you guys can't see my hands. Which is kind of stupid.
That's like giving a blind man directions.
Well, I am a blind man, if that counts. It's just the fact that it's so dark here, you couldn't see anything if you wanted to. But our fire is slowly going out because Ian doesn't want to touch it.
He did.
Is he suddenly afraid of fire?
I don't know. You got to ask him. He can hear you.
No, what?
I said, are you suddenly afraid of fire?
No, I just don't want to play with it.
He's sick.
Boy, if only that was the case for every teenage boy.
The fact is that he got tired way before I did. today. It was like in the 90s at the flea market, and I was still plugging along.
Did
My
you
left
bring
leg was
water?
great. Right knee was hurting like hell, but I'm plugging along. Only one bow was seen today.
Uh,
Crossbows, but only one bow. And it was an old school lemonwood bow.
any golden axes?
Not yet, but I
Oh,
did see a lot of military buttons that were gold. So that might look really close, but they might have been. But I didn't really look close. Found a lot of military uniforms and things. Ian found a hazmat suit.
a Tyvek suit or a full-on hazmat suit?
The COVID,
Coronavirus.
you know, the kind that the doctors use during COVID, full on suits with
Tyvek.
with the motor headset gear and all that crap.
That
He
has
got
room for the air tank?
He's got the everything, and he paid only $5 for the entire thing, and it works. You can't see it.
No, I'm
I-
just carrying it away.
He's got it in a big bag. The bag, everything, motors, it all runs.
My arms hurt.
It's heavy, but he only paid $5 for it. It turns out that the guy who owned it, his brother worked at the hospital during COVID in Grinnell, which is like 15 miles from Newton. And Ian's been needing one of those, so he snagged it.
How does one need a hazmat suit?
Well, he's doing house cleaning right now for extra cash, and he is going through trying to clean apartments that people were
Hot smokers.
pot smokers.
Yeah, Tyvek suit and a respirator. You're good to go.
Well, the thing is,
Well, there's black mold, roaches.
yeah, black mold, roaches, and a whole bunch of other unfathomable stuff that they don't want to even touch or breathe in.
Bed bugs?
That probably too.
Yeah, that included.
So
They have children living there.
the ones they always see on TV with the guys in the big white suits and they got the hoses going in and all this other crap. Yeah, he's got that. You'll probably see it on Future Live when Ian has more. We have more light where you can see. Now, will he try it on? I don't know.
We gotta
But
make sure it fits.
Huh?
You gotta make sure it fits.
Oh, he's going to adjust it to make sure it fits.
So I don't know how to charge it.
That's the motor for it because it does run.
Oh, sweet! I even got an extra filter.
Yeah, he's like learning more stuff about every.
And it's gonna be extremely hot. You'll only be able to be in it for only a certain amount of time.
Well, our house is extremely cold because we have the air conditioner cranked really low, so he should be fine. But where he's going to be working in it, no clue. Probably hotter than hell. But
The air conditioner blew.
yeah, so it's probably going to be.
Dreadful.
That's putting it lightly.
I'll be right back.
But that's one. Let me correct myself. I made a mistake about saying the only bow I saw was the one. It was a lemonwood bow. Ian bought another long bow, recurve, for $5. It's a 45-pound
Indian.
action bow, I think. It's a nice recurve. The reason he got it for it because it was filthy, a lot of mud on it, a lot of dirt, and the fact that someone had left it strung. He corrected the person about keeping it strung. He unstrung it,
I didn't.
and the guy asked him, "How much are you going to give me for it?" He said, $5. He said, "Okay."
Hey, Dad.
And it's nothing wrong with it.
I got a free medical towel.
Yeah, you know, you had to steam clean that, right? You got to sterilize it,
Hush.
and it's probably full of COVID.
I'll be fine. I live for those.
But other than that, he's also found some a couple patches. What else did he find? Oh, those wood burning deals. The clock.
The med bag.
and a little
Vietnam
Vietnam
era.
era med bag, first aid kit bag. Not there's nothing in it, just for the bag itself from Vietnam. You paid $8 for that. So that's what we got. I have found zilch. I love you too.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Gotcha. So what's new, Cliff? And what's for supper?
Supper was a lasagna, as always. Because I'm trying to keep myself on a fairly standard food-based diet that I'm keeping myself on, which
I hope you eat food. You're not like eating seat cushions or anything.
No, but I've been eating a
Give me the charger.
little lasagna. I just threw that in. I just finished that in a little minute ago. Aside from that, no, nothing new over here. Got more beans popping up because I had a whole bunch of beans when it rained back there in a egg crate or egg flats. I had probably like 60 beans back there. They were all swollen up and trying to grow. So I just dumped them all in the garden in random areas that I had open, and they're starting to pop up left and right now. So I got to start working on trellising systems because I've got a couple of months before winter, and I'm hoping that I get a lot of beans off of there before then.
Do you do bean sprouts? Do you eat those?
The kind of beans you needed a specific kind of bean for those ones.
I wasn't sure because that's why I was asking.
Yeah, bean sprouts are a specific kind of bean to get the bean sprouts. You're like standard legumes, like your black beans, red beans, brown beans. Might maybe be able to do it with like the black turtle bush beans, only because it's a smaller bean. Aside from that, now you have to basically crowd those in there and plant it and hope that they don't all. Jason's throwing it in there, so I guess I'll go get my drink and my beverage started. So give me just a brief moment, folks.
Okay, I'll take over. Yes, this is a Colin takeover. I can't see the chat, but hey, people, how you doing? This is Colin from Kincaid Outdoors with my boy Ian. There's no Jenny here today, but we're here live from the Lake Belvedere Campground, where it is getting really freaking dark.
I want to go home.
You can't go home. That's your home, right there.
You're home away from home.
No, you won't.
Watch me. I'll figure out a way somehow.
You better not. That's a lot of money. But got Ian. He tried to camp. It failed, so I put him in my Light Fighter 1 with my Big Agnes sleeping pad because he didn't bring anything to sleep with. Only a wool blanket.
Which is actually very surprisingly cold.
Does the sleeping pad help?
Yeah, but the wool blanket was actually one of my best choices.
Yeah. So he's sleeping with a wool blanket tonight. No sleeping bag.
Hope it ain't cold.
I hope so too.
No, here's the thing. That wool blanket is actually breathable, which makes it even better for the heat.
But he also sleeps in his clothes, folks. So he doesn't take his boots off. Good.
I cannot do that at all.
Oh, you did?
I'm not wearing socks.
Oh.
Look.
Oh, you don't have to yell. We're right here. Okay.
I think like,
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Celia's gonna have a lasagna. Oop, Jason's joining me tonight. Ooh.
how's it gonna do?
Be careful.
What's the Jason?
Get yourself on fire. Watch your hair, please.
I'm making fun.
If your hair would flare up like a torch.
Nah, Colin, you know what that is? It's a free haircut.
He does not need a haircut. Not
Well,
by
if he gets-
fire.
He will if he gets too close to that fire.
Throw a match on there, bud.
Roger
Whether
that.
voluntary or not.
Hold it. Hold my beer.
Yeah, I would. God, Corporal's Corner quote there, CR.
People were commenting on Ian's appearance the entire day. Mostly veterans. And I'm wearing my Bass t-shirt.
I misplaced my MacBook I had earlier.
Wait, they were. He's wearing full camo, is he not?
Yes, he is.
They were able to see him.
Well, thing is,
Oh,
Yeah,
honey, that's like
most of
having
them were, the people who see him was the veterans, so they could see camo. So
I don't know. Still, nobody sees John Cena. I ain't Cena. John Cena.
can't drop. Give it here.
Did you have a rough day at work too today, Jason? Is that why you're joining me today?
I'm going to sleep good tonight.
You gotten used to the new schedule yet, or are you still kind of eh?
Well, I was already up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I just have to adjust it for about an hour.
Oh, by the way, for fires, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
No, I just said gotcha.
Yeah.
Fatwood is your friend when it comes to getting fire started.
Fatwood?
Fatwood.
Mm-hmm. And petrol.
That's what I've been told. Rob fished all day in the heat, so he must have gotten some hot fish.
So Rob's here. Hey, Rob.
Yep.
Good to see you.
Rob's been here. Dan popped in. Literally, you and Dan popped in at the same time.
Yeah.
I know Dan's been here. I thought Rob was here.
Yeah, Rob's been here for a while.
Rob's been here for a hot minute.
I can't see him. Remember?
Oh, that's true.
I
Yeah,
can't
he
see
popped
him.
in. He was fishing from the campground.
No, Dan is. I've been talking to him for the last couple hours.
Oh yeah, but
No more. He's using my alcohol for the fire.
No, don't do that.
boy, you gonna get smacked with a dead fish.
Oh, by the way, tastes almost like the vanilla Pepsi.
Oh,
The spice
Ew,
drink.
that's just no.
that's a sin.
What, vanilla Pepsi?
Yes. Pepsi should be regular,
The only
unflavored.
thing that should be vanilla is vanilla.
Like cherry Pepsi? Vanilla Pepsi?
Ugh.
Actually, cherry Pepsi's not
There's only one thing worse than vanilla Pepsi, and that's that Crystal Pepsi.
No, Crystal Pepsi was good. It just the only difference was that it just didn't have any color.
No, the thing is, the thing that gave it its taste was the color. There's the caramel color. It was caramel, is what it was missing.
No, I liked Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, it was also caffeine free, wasn't it?
No.
It's also not nitro. It was so carbonated that it would escape instantly.
Ooh, Deb's camping. Wait, what?
Who's all camping? We got like 3 or 4 of us are camping already?
No, she's camping at home.
Yeah, because Deb's got no power still.
Oh, that's right, because of that tornado.
Glamping.
How's she doing? I can't see anything.
She
As far
said
as I know, she's doing all right, minus the power.
Does she have a power bank or anything?
it said it'll be some time before she gets power back.
Weird.
She was, I think as of yesterday, she was out of power for what, 4 days?
This is where you need a big generator.
I got my little battery backup over here, and I mean, it's not exactly like I'm going to be short on, flashlights.
You guys got solar panels too, though, don't you?
Yes, but the solar panels go straight into the grid. They're not disconnected from the grid. I don't have any way to charge like battery banks.
I figured when the grid goes down or something, the power goes out, you actually have a way to keep your house powered.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Stupid power grid the stupid power company won't let us detach.
I thought it was supposed to be everything overflow is supposed to go to the grid.
Nope, that's because they signed a piece of paper saying your power belongs to us now.
Essentially, we put power into the grid, and if our power that we're putting into the grid is greater than our usage for the month, we get essentially a payment credits, or we get credits. So if our credits are higher than what we're using, we don't have a freaking electric bill. That's basically all that's doing. So really just having those solar panels up there is keeping us from actually physically having to pay for electricity every month.
I still think it's dumb that they're forcing you to be connected to the grid.
That's why they get the tax credits. It's actually for the power grid, not for you.
Basically,
Actually, at the moment, it's convenient having it this way.
They're pay to use the sun, which is free.
Yeah, but they don't have to pay for the land to put all of the solar panels on.
Still, I wouldn't. I don't want one. If I want to be off the grid, I'm going to be off the grid.
Oh yeah.
Well, the problem is when you're doing like full off grid, my solar capabilities are fine. I can put, I can spend $500-600 on a couple of deep cycle marine grade RV batteries and have myself enough power to run a very small uh, cabin or a little off grid piece of property. So something 200 to 500 square feet. I can easily run that off of my power grid. If you want to start doing more than that, you have to have a very substantial power bank, which can start running you into the thousands for a decent. The cheapest battery bank that we have found was that throughout the time we were looking, the cheapest one at the time when we got our solar was 10 grand for a battery bank.
And it takes up a lot of room. Or did.
Yes, it
Not
did.
now, but it did good then.
Yeah, well, yeah, because now they keep changing the composition of the batteries, or they're improving the MAH of the batteries. So yeah, you can get more MAH out of a smaller battery. But you still have basically on your property, you're gonna have an eyesore when you walk outside your house and you see this giant box with batteries in it.
Now,
that you can't do anything with.
A good example for do-it-yourselfer, off the grid, solar panels and batteries. Check out the Kelly's Country Life.
Can you put the chat in the link? The link in the chat.
Yeah, give me a couple minutes.
What's his name? Russell has that off a Raspberry Rock off grid. He has the same. He's got a setup on his. He's got a couple solar panels and then he's got a battery bank and an inverter and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I want to try to do that. We get stuff in the mail all the time about doing that. Since we don't own our house, we can't do that. But I would love to try because we got the space for it. We just don't, have it set up because we'd have to rewire our house pretty much.
Not really.
It's a World War II track home. The wiring needs updated big time.
That's
like Jason, I'm not too worried about if the power goes out for a couple of hours. A couple of hours, I'm fine. I can spend that outside just chilling or roasting my butt off. But either way, if the power goes out for long term, as long as we don't open any of our coolers or whatnot that require refrigeration, those will stay cold roughly 48 hours. Freezer will stay roughly 72 hours. What is it? 72 plus 24 is 88 hours, 87 hours. So your freezer will stay cold for roughly 3 to 4 days. Your fridge will stay roughly 2 to 3 days if you don't open it. But there's ways around that. But at the same time, we have the RV, so we have backup. We have the generator and power there. And then if we absolutely necessarily have to, we have a 2500 amp or watt sine wave inverter that we can attach to the van, and we just run the van, and we can just power all kinds of shit with that. Because that'll run the refrigerator and the stove, no problem.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, my dad bought the thing, and he bought the cable connectors. Like a 30-foot connector, 20 or 30 feet. Basically, just a it sounds like it's a standard like RV quick connect. Just comes with the two black and red wires are kind of seamed together, and the same way you do like a standard cord, you just kind of peel the ends off, and put your connector on there and your clips and stick it to the connector. And we've got that wired to the van. Van has two 12-volt batteries, so it's got the main battery in the front, and then it's got one on the side I think it's driver's side back, or is it on the passenger side back in the middle? I can't remember. But yeah, that's got two batteries on there. So I mean, even with the downed power, we're fine. Because like I said, I've got my little battery back up here, 600 watts. I can run almost everything in here except for this bastard right here. This is the only thing I cannot run on there because that pulls too much energy. I can't even run my little 400 watt heater on it. Pop the popped the breaker on my 600 water twice. But I can run my big industrial 20-inch fan, or 18, 20-inch fan. On low, I can run it for like 3 or 4 hours. My little fan down here, my 10-inch, or sorry, no, on low, I can only run it for like 2.5 hours. My 10-inch fan down here on low or 1 will run like 4.5, 5 hours.
It's not bad.
And if I have sunlight, all I got to do is run an extension cord from the front door, where I'm going to have the battery anyway, and then I'll have the cable right out through the door, and then I'll go sit out there and charge out in the sun, and I'll charge that thing. It only takes 4 hours to charge that thing from dead to full. With if I get the proper amount of set, the sun's at the right angle, it only takes about 4 hours to charge that thing. It's like 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour from dead to full if I plug it into the AC.
I've got my Anchor that I use, and I have the double plug-in, so it charges twice as fast. I'm actually using my Anchor right now to charge my phone while I'm talking to you, so that way I don't die. So, yep, still charging at 55% and rising slowly. I can't see the chat, so bear with me. What's going on in the chat, Cliff?
Let's see. Talking about solar agreements, blah, 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 reducing the cost, but no backup power, which is essentially when you're tied into the grid, but not 100% off grid. CR is talking to do with solar panels. I've done that so many times. Dan is over here. The sad part about it is your roof gets hail damage, new roof. I don't get a lot of hail down here, but a lot of the newer solar panels, they have a thicker panel or pane on the front. So they're a lot less prone to hail damage until that stuff gets to like golf ball size. In which case, if you got golf ball size hail coming down on your solar panels are fragged.
Like the ones I had last year.
It'll punch a hole right through it like a piece of paper.
Yeah, we had more than bigger than golf ball size last year.
And then, Grace was saying that she heard a story about some EVs being able to use to power charge a house. You can do that to an extent.
Yes, that's all you get.
But the problem here, as I posted in the comments, but I'll basically say it out loud, is yes, you can possibly do that with your EV, but if you ever drain that battery 100%,
it's dead.
That EV battery will never, ever hit 100%. The highest you will ever probably get that is 85% charge once you toast a battery completely.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to go below 40%.
I usually don't let most of my stuff get below 15% because I know even at 15% it's not fully dead. It still has a charge. But if you 100% drain a battery of every electron that it can hold, that will never fully charge ever again.
And do you have any more electricity left to do at all?
And you can prove that point with 9-volt batteries. Rechargeable 9-volt, the older 9-volt batteries that used to be able to recharge, you could drain those to zero and get them back to full charge.
Right.
Some of the stuff afterwards can't do
I
it.
barely got a few pieces. Ian's being a pig here. He ate my jerky.
Grace, I believe that feature is actually programmed into the EV's electronics. So once it gets down below a certain percentage, it actually physically shuts off so it can't drain anymore.
Okay, for something like that where that was using solar panels, where would you get the batteries?
You can buy them on Amazon.
Buy them at a damn anywhere you see.
You can get them local or anything like that?
Lowe's, any car place, like any parts place.
No.
AutoZone.
Well, what's those batteries like the Jackeries, but the bigger ones that everybody's Google all over it.
God, you got the Jackeries. There's the
EcoFlow.
There's the EcoFlows.
The EcoFlow. That's it. Yeah, that's the one that Andrew has on the Kelly's Country Life. And he's got a couple of them, so he can actually do 240 volts.
check out Modern House Cabin, I think is what the damn channel name. I've been watching them guys for a couple of years. Him and his wife for a couple of years. Dude's built his own house, and he has a integrated power system that runs off a couple of solar panels, and he charges his laptop, runs a little miniature fridge, has lights and fans everywhere in his house. I mean, it's a small little cabin.
Yeah.
Like I think it's 10 feet wide by 18 or 20 feet long. But it looks like a standard 2-story like house. Like literally the typical house that's got the walls and then the pitched roof. It literally looks like that.
Yeah. Now, Dan, you can actually daisy chain those EcoFlows. That's the nice thing about those.
You can do the same thing with the Blue Eddy too.
Yeah.
Some of the newer stuff you can actually daisy chain.
So you're just making a bigger battery. Yeah, it's all the same voltage, but it's just a deeper cycle. Basically, what it's doing.
What's the biggest, the one that's commercially available?
The what is it? The Elon Musk is the Tesla battery.
Not very portable though.
No, this is something you attach onto a wall, and it's there. It's not portable.
I'll be right back. I have to go to use the restroom.
Alrighty.
But again, you have to have a battery room. You have to have all the wiring, all the automatic switches. You know, they got to talk to each other.
Yeah, and you got to have a lot of space for the wires because they take up a lot of real estate, surprisingly. But if you design your house right, you can hide them in the walls and just run them through the studs like everybody else runs electricity. But you still want to have them for easy access, just in case you have to replace a wire or something burns
We're
out.
talking about solar generators.
But let me do this real quick. Let me throw this up here. Let me show you guys what. So, this is the channel that I've been watching. This guy has built, him and his wife built this entire little house. I think it's like 10 by 16 or 10 by 20. But that's essentially what the house looks like. They did finally paint the inside over here, so there's no longer dry plywood. They actually painted it white. But here's a
right there. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so that one's one side. This is the one where they have the lights in it. But they just recently built the shed on the left, the white one with the solar panels on it. So that's his full solar panel grid now. He's got those 8 solar panels on there, and that runs both the lights for the shop and the lights for the little house over here. And he's got it all tied into a battery bank. Yeah, let's see if I can actually find it. If I can find... Oh, I know there's more in there. Where the hell's it at? Okay, maybe not up for that one. Dang, he shortened his list. Oh, that's going to be fun for me trying to find that. This is all his recent stuff for the new house they're building. But all right, well that sucks. Let's just go under there so I can find it. If I can find it real quick, I will show you guys. Assuming I can find it. And
I've also been watching that family out of Cochise County in Arizona.
Don't know that one.
I just stumbled across them one day. They're actually doing it's gonna be an earth bag house.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
The orange stretchy bags.
Maybe not then.
Was the Shiny Camper family or something like that?
Not 100% on that one. No, I can't find the video where they put the solar in. So that can get stopped. Hopefully I didn't kick myself out. Do I still have that on my screen? God damn, I do. That stupid tutorial was nice. Hey, Lori, how's it going? Good to see you. Sorry I missed you sneaking in.
I said something.
Yeah, I did not hear you, to be dead honest.
You were busy.
I think I was mumbling to myself trying to find that video.
Mumbler.
No, unfortunately, I would have to disconnect straight from the power box. And I can guarantee you, the minute I try doing that, the solar companies, because it's that whole thing is tied in with the grid. So why my dad actually gets emails or notifications when there's an issue. We had a problem one time where the solar was somehow it stopped working for like 3 or 4 days. We didn't have solar, like our solar wasn't generating. They sent my dad an email like day one saying, "Hey, something's wrong with your solar grid. We need to send somebody out to check it. Can you do we have the authorization?" It took him like 4 or 5 days to get the notification to do it. So for like 4 or 5 days, we were not giving power to the power grid. It is like highly, it's almost, I almost want to say regulated, but it is. If there's an issue, they send you a notification. So if I were to fully power down and off grid that shit, there would probably be all kinds of ramifications.
Yeah.
I don't know that channel.
Yeah, this is Tiny Shiny Home, and they're building these right here, these little earth bag house. And they've already done a couple of trial and runs with some of the outbuildings. What got my attention is they were doing a permaculture, which caught my attention.
I think when you're doing stuff like that, oh, so they're the ones that do. I keep seeing that red circular one here and there, but I haven't checked it out.
Oh yeah, check them out. They're quite interesting.
But yeah, you got to do that with like it's kind of like a sand and concrete kind of mix, sand, concrete, and like clay almost.
Yeah, it's like an ABC.
Yeah, because if
And
you don't,
then they tamp it into a long square block.
yeah, essentially a rectangular block.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a rammed earth house, but it's held back together by the bags.
Well, you're lucky then there, CR, because I completely forgot that comment was even on there until I popped off of the thing. I was like, wait, that thing's still up there? Yeah, there's a few people I've run across that I've kind of watched a video here and there of like them doing earth, like sandbag homes.
Yeah, see,
which
here.
Essentially is a different version or a slightly easier version, or actually not even easier version. I would say layman's terms version of doing a rammed earth home.
Yes. But when they're done, they cover it in plaster. But that's the chicken coop right there.
I would still think a standard earth rammed house would be the better way to go.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion, only because I live in one and nothing has fallen off of the walls in 30 years.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, that style of housing, now that will last for an eternity.
Well, if it's covered in plaster, it'll last for a long time.
Unless they get a random spot where they're at and it just decides to, I don't know, Noah's Ark flood the shit out of that area. Although in which case, depending on the perimeter of that house, if it's sandbagged all the way around, they might actually have themselves a ark, and that won't get wet.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they prepped for, the plastic lining underneath, the footing and all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of base work you got to do before you can throw those down.
Oh yeah.
Jason's partaking in the second one.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still working on the first one. I'm just kind of milk this one.
I haven't had anything sweet in a couple days, except for my cranberry juice.
I was gonna say Molly's right there. Unless you're saying that Molly is currently sour.
Don't get me started. YouTube.
What?
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention.
Molly.
So I haven't had anything sweet in a couple days. Well, you got Molly right there.
I know, I was listening to him.
Oh.
He had it going. I don't know where you were.
That's what Jason was saying. He said he doesn't want to get in trouble with YouTube. some of the bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah.
Chicka wow chicka wow wow. Yeah, sand is useful, but the problem is when you run out of sand, then you run out of sand. Because see, the thing is when they do those earth bag homes,
Yeah.
they have to get that sand from somewhere.
Yeah, they actually ordered it. By the
Yeah,
truck.
you can order the sand, but here's the thing: the sand that they ordered, wherever they got the sand from, that the company that brought it to them, there's a hole somewhere where that sand used to be, which
Yeah.
is going to turn into a puddle. So
Yeah, they're using ABC, so they can get that mix anywhere.
yeah, I mean you're still looking at a 1-to-3 ratio on that, or well, yeah, I guess 1-to-3 because
So 1, 2, 3.
yeah, I mean 1 part this, 2 parts that. Well, 1 part this, 1 part that, 1 part that, which is I guess a 1-to-1 or 1 ratio, but at the same time it's 1/3 of a ratio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's
Like 1 aggregate, 1 clay. No, it's 3 aggregates, 2 sand, and 1 clay.
something like that. It could be river dredge sand, but depending on where you're located, you ain't gonna have a river anywhere near close to your ass.
There's a lot of dry ones in Arizona.
Which are gonna be full of rocks at that point.
No, they sift it.
Should come down here. I got sand so fine in my house that we sift it through a sifter, and my dad uses it to sandblast stuff. Which is even better because then you just sweep up the stuff from the sandblasting, sift that again through the sifter to get all the bigger stuff out, and then you have basically microparticles of sand.
Yep.
And then when you do it a third time, you basically have sand dust, which gets everywhere.
Clay
No, you get sand dust.
from a sandstorm.
I would rather get hit by a sandstorm because this stuff, I mean, you're breathing in literally microparticles of
Oh yeah.
like the finest physical sand. You're talking sand particles for like 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit sandpaper. Because I'm pretty sure that's how they have to get that stuff. They have to grind that down to virtually nothing.
Oh yeah.
When you're talking about, and I mean, when you get to like 2,000 to 5,000 grit sandpaper, it's not sandpaper. You might as well just be literally using a sheet of college ruled notebook paper.
That's clay.
It's like that stuff is so fine. I have sheets of like 5,000 grit sandpaper.
I got 1,000s.
Yeah, I think I have that too. And yeah, it's basically like rubbing your hand across a piece of construction paper. That's how freaking fine that is.
Like I said, clay.
Maybe. I don't know what they put on it because
It's the same as my 1,000 grit Japanese whetstone.
Now, see, that's the funny thing. I got sandstone everywhere in the yard, and every time it like spalts, I'll try to get like the flattest section of it, and then whatever's not flat, I scrape off with like a nail or something or a scraper, so I have a full solid flat section. Well, you soak a piece of sandstone in water, all of a sudden you now have a 60 grit, maybe 60 grit piece of sandstone that you could sharpen a knife or an axe on. It does work. I have done it.
Yeah. The finest thing you can get is porcelain.
Yes, you can sharpen a knife with the bottom of with a coffee cup.
The toilet.
You'd have to break the toilet or use the bottom of the toilet.
I'm just using that as an example.
Actually, you could use the tank cap. You can do it on that because that's actually got a lot of exposed ceramic that's not coated.
Yeah.
The sandbox, yeah, that's what mine is. Mine's a sandbox. By the way, I do apologize, folks. I did not get a chance to post those videos on Friday. I was way too busy.
I understand.
I got home, started doing yard work, and I did not get home. I did not get inside until the damn sun went down. Like, I got in the house at like 9 o'clock. Yeah, bottom of a cup. You can't sharpen a ceramic knife with a ceramic knife. Because technically that ceramic for that knife has a micro coating on it to keep the edge, or to keep them from getting anything into the pores, because ceramic is not exactly 100% sealed.
Now the ceramic knife, that's glazed, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a actually no, I think it's just fired,
Fired.
but I think they do put a micro glaze on it to keep it from doing what they need to do. But I honestly I could not 100% tell you that, Jason, whether or not that is true or not, because I've never actually physically watched the production of ceramic knives.
That might be kind of cool.
Oh, snap. So here's a basic overview. Ceramic knives are made through a process that involves mixing raw materials into a slurry, dehydrating the slurry, and then pressing the resulting powder into a mold.
Under high pressure.
Oh, probably extremely high pressure. The slurry is then dehydrated in a spray dryer to create, yep, there you go, granular powder. So it is technically powder coated.
Okay. It's glazed.
Temperature over 1,000 degrees for. Holy shit! Pardon my French. Here's the firing method. The mold is then fired at temperatures over 1,000 degrees Celsius
Whoa!
for several days.
Wow. That's why it's so expensive.
Jesus Christ! What is it, like 5,000 degrees?
No. Like 2,001. 2,200.
2,500 degrees to what?
1,800, almost 1,840 degrees Fahrenheit.
For what?
Holy shit! We're talking about the production of ceramic knives.
Oh wow!
To find out, we're talking about ways to sharpen a knife, and one of the methods that came up was ceramic, like the bottom of a coffee cup.
I've got those ceramic sticks. Deal.
Yeah, I've got those too, but personally, I think those are kind of shit because you can't really. I mean, it's a small line that you're ceramic sharpening at the same time, unless you have a ceramic block.
Yeah, I would love to have a ceramic brick for a sharpening stone. Oh, that would be awesome. Can you imagine the polish you can get on that edge?
Yeah, it says grind and polish. The resulting blade is ground on a diamond wheel and polished to create the final shape and edge. I just forgo the knife. Can I just have the diamond wheel?
It's just all dust glued on there.
I don't care, because that thing would still that diamond wheel would have more value than the damn knife itself.
Oh yeah,
industrial diamonds.
Ceramic knives are usually made from zirconium oxide.
Wow.
Wait, what's that? They use that in something else.
It's toast.
You're thinking cubic zirconium?
No, they use it for coating for something. I can't remember what it is.
Probably bike spray paint, because it says the material is harder and denser than steel. They can score an 8.5 on the Mohs hardness scale, compared to 4.5 for steel and 10 for diamond. So that coating is an 8.5, whereas a 10 is a diamond.
Wow.
That is close enough to density and strength that it could probably cut a diamond under the right conditions.
Well, when we were down in Arkansas doing diamond hunting a few years ago, those kind of diamonds they have there are the industrial style diamonds. And a girl found a $500,000 diamond while down there.
Oh man, I only got one thumbs up on here. Well, then I probably got more. I just haven't refreshed. Wait, what?
Yeah, tuck your hair behind your.
I haven't watched How It's Made in forever, so that's why I kind of Googled. That's why I looked up the ceramic knives.
Yeah, come here, Mom.
I don't want your hair to catch on fire.
My hair is fine. If it catches on fire, it'll be fine.
You'll finally get that haircut.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right? Whether it's forced or involuntary, it's going to get one.
It smells like bacon when I burn my hair due to the grease.
It'll hurt.
Yeah, well, if you once you got a chip in a ceramic knife, your ceramic knife is pretty much a serrated knife at that point.
Great for
It's really hard to fix those. I mean, you can probably send them into a company to get them resharpened, but that's whether or not they actually have the specific materials or machinery to actually sharpen a ceramic knife. Not a lot of places do.
They'll probably
And if
grind
they
it down
do,
and sharpen it.
yeah, it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get the knife sharpened, which is probably cheaper to buy a new knife.
But it has sentimental value.
Stuff like that. I'm not sure if any people seen those. The ones, the hand crank ones, like Ian's got. I don't know how well they work compared to some. But I do know you can replace the grinding wheel. But I'm
Wait,
not
what?
sure for knives, or is that for like tools? I never was able to tell the difference.
Sorry, I did honest. I wasn't sure you were talking to us or Ian.
You
Can you run that statement by me again? I apologize.
hand cranked grinders, sharpening stuff at the flea market, and I know you can change the wheels out, but I'm not sure if they're made for tools or knives.
Both.
And do you use water with them or oil?
Water.
Depends on the material.
Was that, Jason?
Depends on the material.
Well, I just wanted to figure the wheel uses only one kind, not both. You can't use an oil on a water on an oil one.
No.
You can use oil on a water one, but then again, that once you do that, it now becomes an oil one, in which case you have two oil ones.
Yeah, which that would do you any good.
Now, again, it really depends. Like Jason said, it depends on the material. But most of those sharpening wheels for like your bench grinders, I think there's like what maybe a half a dozen or so different like densities for the wheel or like grit. They don't have a lot of leeway or play on there. They more or less make those for sharpening blunt objects. A lot of it is mostly your like wood cutting materials, or like your chisels and your die points or whatnot.
Right.
Just whatever you do, you try to avoid at any cost getting the tip of your material red. If it turns red, you have to start the process over again and regrind a lot of material off.
You squelch it in oil or water?
It depends again on what you're actually doing.
Just if you got like I say, a chip out of your blade, you need to correct.
Most of the time, you can do that with a very fine file, or not even. I want to like a sharpener, and then hit that with a strop, and you can get most of those out. If it's a really deep chip, you're gonna have to reprofile the blade.
Because I've got an axe that's got an end piece that's just gone.
You just got to reprofile the front edge of that. Having that front edge gone, it really isn't going to affect the performance of the axe. You just got to reprofile the cutting edge of that axe.
You just sharpen around it. It's not worth taking all that metal off.
You don't need to take a lot off. You can reprofile. You can reprofile that with a bastard file.
Yeah, but like
15, 20 minutes.
A small little itty bitty little dent in it is not going to hurt it.
No, he's talking about that one he got the last time, that little short camp axe. It's got the top end, that whole top corner snapped off.
Oh.
That's the one, you remember. Yeah.
Yeah, little green one with a handle. Yeah, he basically... I have to bust this out now just so I can show it. See if I can get this out without cutting the straps, because this thing is in here tighter than... Oh, this one, I can't even do it on this one because this one's got a weird profile. So basically, the top of his right here on the top, that's the top of his, it like busted off the corner. So he's missing like, I think like an eighth of an inch, maybe a little bit more than that, 2/8 of an inch.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, but still,
I had a chance to use this thing, by the way. Motherfucker's heavy. How the hell did I get that out?
Very carefully.
I can't even get it in. Let alone get it out. It's easier to get it out than it is to get it in. Which, Sounds like a personal problem, but it out loud.
Dave,
There we go.
you have been shamed by the
Tuck it
McDonald's.
under, but not in it. Just top it on top.
You have been shamed by McDonald's.
Oh,
McDonald's is gross. Makes you fat.
he's using the containers from the fries to help get the fire going.
It's not real food.
It really isn't. I
Well,
worked there for a year. Trust me, I can verify all of this. Their chicken nuggets are like 10% chicken. The rest of it's filler.
chicken nuggets.
Their chicken nuggets are like bricks.
Yeah, there's rice and all kinds of other stuff in there.
Oh yeah, it's like 80% filler. Now, you want good chicken? Good chicken, Popeyes, or I hate to say this, KFC, but actually KFC has some damn good chicken.
They have some dang fries too.
I don't like the potato wedges.
No, they're not wedges anymore. They don't have them. They got rid of them.
Yeah, I think it's because people got tired of eating half a potato at once. I can eat an entire potato, but not when it's a potato wedge.
The seasoning they're using on the fries is the same one they used on the original recipe. They taste just like your chicken. So I go for the strips every freaking time. I'd rather have a whole bunch of meat instead of just like a bone involved.
9:40.
Almost time to go.
Almost time to go.
Yeah, we'll probably cut it here in a couple minutes. So probably bottom of the hour or middle of the hour, whatever you want to qualify it as. Because I did start at a weird time. I'm still working on I'm actually just kind of merrily chugging away at this. Just kind of sipping it.
I had enough to make one full soda, so
I've had a Gatorade and a Pepsi since we've been here.
yeah, I split it into 2 drinks.
There you go.
1 drink into 2.
I am going to be doing the wraps on my hike and poles on Thursday.
All right. If you need some more assistance on there, I can help you do it.
I greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to drop out of here because, there's not much
Before
left.
he catches his hair on fire?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'll catch you guys, Tuesday for Jason.
Wednesday.
And Jason comes on Tuesday too. And I'll catch
Yeah.
you both on Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Good. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Take care. Have a good one. Stay safe. Ian, don't do anything that'll piss your dad off.
No promises.
Bye, guys.
Promises.
Good night.
Later. You guys have a good one. And Dan, if you're still here, I know you're about to you probably either wandered off already or are getting ready to go because it's dark over there.
You can
So
tell.
hopefully you guys here. I'm going to stay on for just a little bit longer because I still have this again to drink, and Jason still has just a tad bit of his.
Just a little bit left. Basically, a whole one like you have, but I just my cup is a lot smaller.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably have about the same volume. It's just your cup, and I think your cup is wider. Mine's narrow.
No, mine's pretty narrow.
Mine is. We're probably still at the same volume.
This is like about a 10-ounce cup, 12-ounce cup. Like you can fit a whole soda in there if there's no ice.
I think, I can do like a can and a half in this one. This is actually fairly good. So I think I actually have more than you at this point then. Turn on the air conditioner, Cecilia. Actually, if you've been getting a lot of rain, open a window and throw like 2 or 3 fans in the windows around your house and just start circulating air. That's what we do when it rains. We pop open all the windows, and we run 1 fan on one side, 1 fan on the other side.
Positive airflow.
Actually, negative airflow.
Oh, you draw from the inside of the house?
Yep.
I stick my fan outside the door and I blow in.
We can do that if it's really cold. If it's really nice, like good temperature outside, we'll flip them so both of them are pushing air in. But for the most part, we do negative airflow. So we try to suck through the vents, try to get all the hot air out from under the house to the outside. And then we'll swap them around after an hour or two, and then we'll suck in all the cold air.
Yeah, because I'll have one outside blowing in. It's about a foot away from the door, and then on the other side of the house, I'll have it on about a foot inside the door, blowing out.
Jason, are you ready for momentarily usable silver hats? Mine's all squished. I still look all squished, but we have to wait.
Hi, Mandy.
We had to make sure because I know it'll take you a bit to get on here, so I was like asking Jason like instantly, I'm like, you ready for
Nice. I love your one, Jason.
I'm already my head already feels like a baked potato.
Oh, I bet.
How's yours feeling, Jason? You start feeling the heat almost instantly putting that thing on?
No.
Oh, mine's not blowing at me, it's blowing at my bed.
It keeps me warm.
I'm like roasting over here, but yeah.
It's not going to protect you.
I gotta give this one flack just because I know doing stupid shit like this makes her day.
Yes, it does.
That it does.
And you're not going to find this on any other channel either.
You're really not. Booster.
Is he looking for squirrels?
He's all
Magpies. There's a magpie in the tree.
Yeah, our scooter won't chase squirrels.
Yeah, because he'd run into the porch posts.
No, he thinks they're scary. They're just scary to him.
They can be if you piss them. Okay, I gotta take this thing off, man. My brain is roasting over here. I love you. I gotta readjust that and make a different style of hat. But yeah, I can only wear that thing for so long.
I might do one I'll probably do an Aussie one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don't they essentially just wear just like a cowboy hat style hat over there?
It's a little
Some
bit.
of them.
Like, I'm pretty sure if I remember correct, I'm probably going to get flack for this, but Crocodile Dundee essentially it was a cowboy hat styled.
It's the Australian version of it, though.
Yes.
I mean, it's literally no different than, I think, like one of these things.
Yeah.
Is essentially what they are.
Slightly different.
Like
No, he can't, Grace. He can't poke holes in it because that means I can get in and suck his soul out.
Yeah. I can't do vent holes.
Nope.
Dude, Jason, I use that thing so often now at my house. See, there you go. That's what it is. They always have just the one side snap.
You know, like I said, in America, we fold up the right side and keep the left side out. Because that's the way that we drive. You know, it protects us from the sun. From when the windows.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sun on that side keeps you.
Then we can hear the wife in the passenger seat.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to hear that. You're driving too fast. You're too close to that other car. La, 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 la.
No, there's a slight difference, to be honest, but not much. You better see her.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, they're. It's essentially what they consider an Outback Trader blah 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 hat. That's essentially it's a damn cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Or actually, no. What would be
It's cut a little bit different.
It's a softer material. It's like it's like the sun hats we have down here.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lighter material than what your standard cowboy hat's going to be made of. But it's still cowboy hat style.
Not necessarily, because a lot of the time with a lot of the farmers, they use leather.
That's just most cowboy hats are made out of leather.
No, beaver hide. Or beaver fur.
That's a lot of beaver pelt.
Or rabbit.
Ooh.
Wabbit.
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 It took me a second to remember the name of it. A Tilly hat.
Yeah.
Like the Tilly Hat Company. That's what reminds me of like Australian hats for some reason.
Now, my mom has a Stetson. That's why I know Hers is actually made out of rabbit.
That's an expensive hat.
Mm-hmm. And she's had it for many, many, many years.
It's also terrible cologne.
Right. Get out of that one.
Why in God's name would you want to wear a wool hat in the middle of summer? It's a $70 hat. I'd be dying in that thing. I'll take the vented mesh hats like that all day long.
I just wear a cap.
Yeah.
I can't. I wear my normal hat out there. Within 10 minutes, half that hat is soaking wet.
Yeah.
You know, I still like my fedoras.
I wear this thing. I was out there earlier watering plants just with this on, and I had probably all of like 2 inches plus of this rim from the headband out was just
Oh, wet. Yeah, mine does the same
it
thing.
was saturated. I was out there dying, and that's, I mean, it's a camouflage hat. It's not a dark color, and it's ventilated. Like the whole top half, aside from the top, is all mesh. You get full ventilation on it.
Yeah,
It just gets hot.
Yeah, because I actually have full thick fedoras for winter too.
Yeah, don't do it.
I have
I'm
what?
not
All of them? I miss my orange one.
Got a question, Cliffy. Or even you, Jason.
Alrighty.
I've got a new game, right? But it's asking me select a region for online matching. It's got North America, South America, Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Oceania.
North America, trust me.
What one would I pick?
I would go with North America.
I don't know. We got
Let's
some.
do time zones.
Is it time zone?
Well, I don't know. It's got what time zone am I in?
Australian.
Yeah, but it don't have Australia. It's only got those options.
Well,
But that's
who do
because
who
the
do you
clock
want?
starts upside down in a video game.
Now the question is, who did you want to play against? That's what it's asking you.
Well, I don't want to play against anyone because I just want to play the campaign mode. I don't want to be.
Just choose yours.
And then just choose whatever region you want. Essentially, that region lock. It's region locked, but I mean, even with region lock, I used to play with people all the time from like Japan and China.
England.
Yeah, not very rarely from England. A lot of the video games that I used to play with, I shit you not, it was either China or Japan that I like all the people that I played with.
Mine were here, U.S., Canada.
I had them too, but yeah, like Cecilia said, that's CR says for matchmaking. Yeah, it's essentially if you want to play like online campaigns with other people.
Well, like I said, when we
No,
played,
I don't want online.
we would take our lowest person in the group, the lowest experience, and that would be our captain. So,
Why?
because they were playing other teams that had the same ranks as him, and then we would just mop the floor.
Will obliterate them in matches. That's
yeah.
messed up. Oh, hey, look, our team leader is like a level 5. Everyone else is like level 60. Oh, let's get a whole bunch of level 5s. It's like one-shot kills, and they start rage quitting because they're all pissed off. Oh, we can't beat them.
Oh no! Like I said, the team that we were on, and when we figured that out, it was like, oh yeah, because we played that on because it was like that on Battlefield 4.
I played, I think, the first 2, not competitively, but like just as like test gameplay when I worked at GameStop. Honestly, I was not a fan of Battlefield 4. Actually, I wasn't a fan of Battlefield to begin with, but that's just me.
That's the only one I liked is Battlefield 4. I tried the other ones, I didn't like them. 4 was the only one I liked.
Yeah, I kind of started playing with COD only because a lot of the coworkers that I worked with at the time when I first started working, they were playing COD. So I got into COD.
Well, we were playing COD and BF4. We just like the BF4. You get the vehicles, and the vehicles was the most fun part.
I'm going to get on there, I'm going to download that game, and I'm just going to start spamming Amanda.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah.
You're the
What?
one wearing earphones over here, and you still can't hear me?
I have one on, one off because I was testing what voice I wanted for my character.
Oh,
You wanted it American, that way you ain't got no weird accent, so you ain't got no character being like, yeah, nah, yeah, bruh.
Yeah, nah, brah. Yeah, nah, brah.
Nah, bruh. Yeah,
Yeah,
bruh.
nah,
unibrow,
brah.
a
Yeah,
unibrow.
bruh.
No, I worked yesterday. I wasn't exactly pleased that I had to work yesterday. And I worked this morning, so I've cleaned my room, I've got my washing on, I've got another load doing its thing. So now I'm going to be on here as well as playing my game.
No, see, I miss playing as the clan on those games because that was more fun than anything else.
I used to have a really good team for Call of Duty. Like, we used to play all the freaking time, but then, life, work, and we
Yeah,
just drifted apart.
yeah. No, we were E911 was our team.
We didn't have a clan name. We just
Yeah.
got on and
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what you
We
claim.
would end up in
done our
Diamond.
thing.
No, we would end up in Diamond.
Remnant 2, Cliffy.
Remnant. Yeah, when did you get when did you get a 5? Amanda,
Uh-oh.
Jason ran out, which means he's going to be going to bed in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Well,
Amanda,
I think after 10,
Amanda.
I need the 8 hours. Yeah. Well, she's going to miss it all.
Butter my biscuits. That seems more like a video game.
Yeah,
Or that sounds more like freaking old Bugs Bunny.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
That sounds like Yosemite Sam, I swear.
No, but the funniest thing whenever I played COD was that 1 second or 1.5 seconds when you took somebody else out, you get to hear them.
Yes. It was
Oh.
like 2-3 seconds. You got
All I heard was effing camping.
Are you back?
Are you there?
I'm here.
I am here. I cannot play my game as well as have yous going.
That sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem. But to your question, my PS4 died when I was still with the ex.
Ah.
And I got a PS5. He put some money towards it.
I still don't want to get the 5. I don't know why. I did not like the look of that console.
No, I'm not upgrading. I'm not getting another console.
I'll wait till the Switch. Maybe.
I don't like the look of it, but I'm glad I got it. Because they are so big and they're bulky.
Oh yeah, it's ugly. It looks like a Wi-Fi router in a 3-ring binder. I do not know why PlayStation, in all of their glorious wisdom, decided to go from the standard rectangular shaped console to that ugly ass thing.
Yeah. I don't know, because they say you're meant to be able to stand it up, but one of the flaws in standing it up is the thermal paste melts and then drips down all over your electronics and then fries your PlayStation. So you've got to have it laying down.
Now, see, that sounds like an Xbox problem, not a PlayStation problem.
Oh, it's very much a PlayStation problem because a lot of people had their PlayStations stop working and blow up because of it.
Well, that's because, I hate to say this, but a lot of those people, they put them in a confined space where it gets way too hot.
Yeah.
And they have no ventilation.
Yeah, I always had mine out in the open. Or it was the only thing on the shelf.
Mine's on a shelf.
Well, do you have ventilation on that? Is it just the only thing on that shelf, and is that shelf open?
Just the only thing. The front of it's open, and there's a little gap at the back.
Open it
but
up.
I also have a fan that I have pointing directly at it when I do play, so it rotates like cool air across it.
Get yourself a 3-inch CPU fan, get a USB connector extension cable, and wire the USB fan to it. Plug it into your PlayStation. So when your PlayStation turns on, that USB fan kicks on, and you have full ventilation.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot of tricks and trades and mods you can do, and I mean it's a simple mod. You can get a 3-inch CPU fan for $5-6, and
Do you
then
remember that one that I had for my laptop when my laptop was overheating? You remember that one?
Yeah.
It's the laptop sits on it. There's like 5 fans underneath.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can stick my PlayStation on that.
might work.
Now,
Not sure.
But that also depends on whether or not the bottom of the PlayStation has ventilation. If it doesn't have ventilation on there, putting that fan under is going to be doing no purpose, no good. It's just going to overheat your fans. The reason why it's designed for a laptop is because usually at some point on the bottom of a laptop, there's ventilation for your hard drive, so your hard drive doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
I got a question for you two. Did you guys
What?
ever mod while playing?
Did
Or
we ever
use
what?
modifications while you were playing?
No.
Thank you. Everybody
Now-
always thought I was modding, and I'm going, no, I'm not.
Now so for I believe it was Fallout 3. I did have a lot of the user modded downloads. I had a ton of those on that game, but I had already beaten the game before all the mods, so I just got the mods just have a little bit more fun in the game.
I'm talking about the controllers or doing another program in there to make you
No.
better than everybody else.
That I never did. I never had the professional grade like $400 like super sensitive trigger mods.
Just your basic. Obviously not this one, because when I played Call of Duty, it was on the PS4 and the PS3, but it was just simple.
The one that came with it.
Like that one.
Yep. This was actually only my second controller. The one that originally came with the system, I had an issue with the aiming stick was loose. I don't know what happened. It was just wouldn't track, so it was making it hard to shoot things.
I had with the PS5, the original controller it came with malfunctioned, and I couldn't use it, so I took it back to EB Games, and they gave me this one because it
God
was
damn,
still
it's
under
still
warranty.
EB Games over there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Now, when I first got the game, when I set up the profile, I put it on its highest sensitivity, and I learned to play with it.
Of course.
God, that is ridiculously hard to do because you like breathe on that control stick and that shit goes.
Oh yeah, you can switch bands so fast, you can turn so fast in the game. So I learned to play on its highest sensitivity.
I think I always put my sensitivity around medium because I couldn't. Like if it was too slow, it was just like this is really boring, and if it was too fast, I would always overshoot. Like literally, I would turn too far. You just barely tap, and you're like 75 degrees the other direction, way past where you need to be.
No, I just learned to play with it, and I was that good. I can never do the 360 scopes. I could never do that. I can rarely ever do a quick scope.
Oh, I got a buddy that used to freaking annihilate with quick scope. He would just barely see you and would like, bam, you were dead. I'm like, how the hell did you hit me from way over
You
here?
have to time it perfectly. Every once in a while, it would happen, but yeah.
I honestly think a lot of the times with quick scope is just dead luck.
No, you had to time it correctly.
Now I know with a lot of the stuff for COD, you had that stupid radar. If you had especially during matches, if you had that stupid radar launch, you could launch the radar and see exactly where everyone was at. I had a guy one time got a quad kill with a throwing knife because he hit a grenade that hit a canister of exploding fuel.
It happens.
We all just we sat there and watched the replay. He just literally just quick chucked the knife right at the start of the match, went over a wall, ricocheted off another wall. Sorry, it didn't even hit a grenade. Sorry, it just hit the canisters of gas in his building. It just happened to go right through a gap or the doorway or a small window. Hit the canisters, and everybody for some reason ran all into there almost instantly, and quad kill 10 seconds into the game.
No, my favorite thing was There's this one map on Call of Duty 3. The hard hat.
Ah, yeah, I loved hard hat.
That's where I got most of my kills for the javelin.
That's an easy one because you know where all the spawn points are. You just gotta stop in one spot.
We play capture the flag. I'd run over there, get it up there as fast as I can, and just launch it. Everybody would be running towards that one flag, and I would catch them. I catch like 3 or 4 out of the 6.
Yeah, see, we used to. I hate to say this, me and my buddy used to spawn camp.
Oh, I
Which
hate
sucks.
it.
I'm sorry. I'll admit I'm a D-hole when it comes to that. But yeah, certain maps, you know where the spawn points are. They'll spawn there no matter what, and it's usually one of 3 spawn points. So you would just like 1 or 2 people at each camp, or 1 person at each camp, and you just sit there, grenade, landmine, and the freaking BMG. You just mow the minute they pop up. You just mow them down, and they get all pissed. So then they'll spawn over there on like spawn point B. You get them over there, and they'll spawn point C, and it was just a never-ending chain. These kill counts were like in the hundreds.
Now, one of the funnest ones to do was the scrapyard. We were playing capture the flag. One was inside.
I didn't mind the scrapyard. That was all right. That one.
No, I love that one because I would run in there, and I would take that C4 and I throw it on the ceiling. So
that'd work.
Before I'm going in there, I detonate it.
I used to do that. I used to do stupid stuff. I think it was Call of Duty 2 on the freaking boat.
Yeah.
You would just walk into doorways, and you'd have those 2 stupid sticks that you could throw down. Like one of them was like a shock stick, and one of them was like a exploding stick.
Yeah.
Everybody used to do the same thing. They would run in, turn around, and throw that bastard right at the top of the ceiling, right at the doorway. And the first thing people do is a lot of the guys in Call of Duty, they like to jump over shit. Everywhere they go, jump in door, jump in the window. Well, you jump in the door, that damn C4 stick is sticking right at the ceiling. So the first thing they do is jump into that. Boom, done.
Yeah.
They would get so pissed.
Or another one, you get somebody to chase you, and you throw the IED up on the ceiling in the doorway.
Yeah. You always had to put it in like a dark, shadowy spot because you could see it otherwise. But yeah, half the time those guys, I used to get people with the damn C4.
Yeah.
I would hit them with the C4.
Remember the little canister one that had the 4 shots in it?
Yes.
I would get them to chase me, and I would run around the corner and drop it.
Boom.
You can't escape it.
Oh yeah. I think honestly, out of all of the weapons, my favorite one was the freaking C4 RC car.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That thing was a blast because they're expecting a person to come around a corner, not some like 2-inch tall car with a stick of dynamite or like a C4 blast on it.
Yeah, but the best thing is if you can get one of your other teammates to distract them, you can come up behind them and blow them up, and they don't know.
No. Another thing I used to do is somebody be holed up inside of a room. I can throw the C4 through the window and detonate it while it was in the air.
Yes.
That got everybody in the room.
Oh yeah, I loved doing that one. That one was always fun.
Sorry, guys, we're reminiscing of COD. I mean,
Still got 5 people in here, but just shocking.
When we were playing, was it the one with the jumpsuits when they first came out? One with Kevin Spacey as the bad guy from Atlas. They had the binary rifle.
Mm.
Oh, are you talking Mass Effect?
No. This is a COD. It was where they had the exosuits. The very first one.
Oh God! Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about now.
And they
I don't
had
remember the name of it. It was a COD one, but it wasn't. I don't think it was a mission. I think it was one of those like weird side games.
No, it was actually COD game, but they had the binary rifle. You had the catalyst rifle, so you had shot A and shot B. When you shot them both real close together, there was an explosion. That was one of my favorite ones when we played indoors. Because I just sit in one spot, and anytime they come around the corner, I just do a quick double tap. No, not yet.
Yeah, see, no, it's showing right now that the binary rifle was from Halo.
Well, that's what I'm calling it because it takes the first shot and the second shot is the catalyst to ignite it. It was the one with Kevin Spacey as the main character.
And this was a video game?
This was a video game. It was a COD game.
I
Well,
don't remember that one.
Oh, Advanced Warfare.
Yes, Advanced Warfare. That's it.
Oh.
That's the one I would actually prestige every 22 game hours.
Jesus.
Can you imagine prestige?
That's crazy. Every 22 hours.
Every 22 game hours. We would play in the Clan Wars, and I would prestige during the middle of the Clan Wars. And everybody's, oh no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
God, was that on the? Was that Nintendo or Super Nintendo there, Grace?
We had that game when we were kids.
Which one?
Zelda.
Yeah, that's a Nintendo game.
What really bugs me about that game is the fact that it should not be called Legend of Zelda. It should be called Legend of Link. Because Zelda was the damn princess. Link was the one that did all of the goddamn work to save her stupid ass at the end of the game. And yet, for some stupid reason, it's Legend of Zelda.
See, I like playing those games there because playing the computer was boring. Because you knew what it was going to do.
Do you see Deb's comment, Cliffy?
Bunch of terrorists. I could be.
But we're always calling out the game's name, so it's paying attention for the full conversation. It's on them.
Yeah, Deb. I think Deb's more focused on eating her damn tamales.
Yeah, I would be too.
Gotta come down here and get some good tamales, Deb.
Yeah.
Although if the person that made your tamales happens to be of Hispanic origin, then yeah, you probably got some good tamales.
Not always.
I remember Pong. I played Pong, Centipede, freaking, what was that? The other one was Worm.
Galaxia. Millipede.
I remember all of that.
Asteroids.
Basia.
6400. Later. Who's leaving?
That was a Nintendo.
CR, take care of CR. We will be ending this. We were supposed to end this stream almost 15 minutes ago, but everybody's jamming and we're just having a good time over here. I am like sticky everywhere. Tetris. Nothing wrong with a good D&D match.
All right, guys. I need to get going.
Yeah, I'm probably going to wind it down here too because this live went a little longer than particularly anticipated. But hey, you know what? We've all had a good time tonight.
Oh yeah. So
we will take this time
next time.
Yep, we will
Bye,
take this
everyone.
Bye bye. Say good night. Everyone be well, be safe. Jason, Amanda, Molly, thank you all for popping in. Colin and Ian, thanks for joining us tonight as well.
Mandy,
right. CR, Deb, Cece, and we got Dan. We got I'm missing somebody. Rabbit. Did not see say what?
Didn't see Obstacle tonight.
Obstacle was not here. He was probably freaking at home, probably passed out. We also didn't see Doug, but I half expected that due to the fact that there is a hurricane going his way. So, I sort of expected not to see him tonight.
Yeah.
But we had Dan, Herbert. Goddamn, I forgot. Dude, my brain just shut off all of a sudden.
Yep.
But anyway, everyone be well, be safe. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe on the way out. And leave me a comment once this thing is posted as to whether or not the first half of this live was actually worth you doing.
Yes.
Anyway, see you guys on the flip side. Everyone be well, be safe. Catch you on the flip. And Jason?